Welcome to our next episode of the Insiders Eco Tour, and thanks for tuning in. Today we will take a look into vermiculture and find out how worm farms work and show you how to build your own. Worm farms are a great way to recycle kitchen waste and food scraps into one of the best garden fertilizers available. It's very easy to maintain a worm farm, it takes very little time and effort, and you can set up worm farms in the smallest of spaces such as balconies and courtyards. Worm farms are in fact worm composting systems, or more correctly vermicomposting systems, and earthworms are one of the fastest composters there are. We will start off by showing you how to build your own worm farm, and then join Harry's to find out exactly how it works and how to use it in your grow. First we will join Mookie as he builds a large capacity worm farm using recycled materials found on the Donkeypaw Eco Estate. Mookie is a skilled maintenance worker as well as a maintenance team leader for Green Horizon, which is the infrastructure and automation partner of the Gunner Club.
Vandaag gaan we nou wormplaats bouwen. Ons gaan eerst die frame skuren. Dan gaat dit later zien als het nou plek gaan skuren. Dan gaat het zo'n verf. Dan gaat ons een bouw.
Okay.
Yes. Dan gaat het beginnen skuren nou.
Ja.
Als het klaar geskuren, dan verf ons om zwart.
Alright.
Asay.
Ndizoyithanda umbone xa sigqibile naye.
Asay.
Okay guys, sizokuphinda ukubuyela later xa sigqibile umukho, okay?
Our first step will be to prepare the frame for our worm farm. Today we will use the frame of an old unwanted table which Mookie proceeds to repaint. Next we will plan the design of our worm farm, which we will display on the screen for you. Feel free to pause and take a screenshot for reference. Mookie and Herman now measures the length of our steel frame, which they will use to cut out the lower tray. Mookie now applies the same measurements to a sink roof sheet, which he will cut out and use for our lower tray.
Okay. Dan gaat de frame nog geskuren en geverfd. Dan gaat ons nou plaats snijden om onder om de water te keren. Dat we in de emmer in gaan.
Lelijkje nou snijden. Oké, zo die lelijkje geverfd is alvast.
En dan komt daar enetjie hier so onderin. Okay, dankie Mookie.
You can see die hoogte daar kan en er is die val dat die wat er kan zetten dat ik wil afdoen.
Okay, dankie Mookie. Mookie has now attached the lower tray to the frame and we are ready to assemble the next piece of our worm farm. Next, Mookie will assemble the shade net, which will hold the soil which serves as the worm bedding. Mookie proceeds to tie the shade net to the frame with rope acquired on the Eco Estate. Shade net is cheap and should be available at your nearest hardware store. Holes in the shade net will allow liquid to drip into the lower tray.
I've gone since the worm farm. And the worm farm siyenza hayo nje sizafaka emisundululu apha ngaphakathi. And then yabona ngoku siyenzela into eyigquma. Siyenzela something like cover.
Okay.
Yabo? Cover lo sabe cover lo singizama besifaka ngaphakathi. Sikhave.
Oh wow.
Like this. Yabo?
Yes, Mookie.
So that thing of my
Here Mookie and Aya has assembled the cover for our worm farm using shade cloth. This will cover the worm bedding and create a dark, cool and moist habitat by providing a cover over the bedding and their food, which encourages them to move into the food and eat it.
Okay,
It's done.
Isegqibile Muki.
Done, bro. Done and dusted.
Kanjani?
Open it up for me, let's show you. When you want to use it, you just open it up like that, and you can see all your worms. Feed them, do whatever you want. Now that we have built our worm farm, let's go join Harry's to find out how we can bring it to life and how to use it in our grow.
Yeah, so what we've got here is very simple design. You know, this is just shade netting, yeah?
Okay.
That the worms lay inside of, and then we cover it with one layer of plastic, like a 100% shade cloth is also cool, and a heavy weight on this side just to keep it down. Steel rack or any old shelving, you can use basically anything for that. That's just the frame. It's a sheet here.
Yeah.
And that just catches all the water. When we water it at the top, it's going to catch all the water and catch it in that bucket there. That's rainwater now, but when we run the system, we'll clean that bucket and then we'll add our own water. And yeah,
Okay.
so that's basically the layout of it. And
So they catch the juice from here. The juice drips down there, as you can see. What the worms eat, the worms poop out into these drums. It becomes this. So this is the tea. This is the worm tea, guys. Yes, this is the good stuff. Food for soul.
another big trick is the species of your worm also determines what kind of juice they make. These are red wigglers.
Okay, I see.
And this works really well for us, nice balanced diet, and yeah, in our experience, can't go wrong with red wigglers.
All earthworms are part of an ecological class of organisms called decomposers. They eat rotting organic material and turn it into worm castings. Since they don't have any teeth, earthworms need to wait till their food starts to break down before they can begin to eat it. All earthworms can do the same work converting organic matter into valuable worm castings, but some breeds do a better job than others, so naturally we choose the best worms for the job. The earthworms used in worm farms are in fact compost worms, which are different to the regular earthworms found in garden soil. Compost worms are surface feeders and don't burrow into the soil like garden worms do. The various breed of compost worms such as tigers, reds and blues are capable of eating their own body weight in food each day. So a kilogram of worms will consume that much food daily. By comparison, garden earthworms only eat around half their body weight each day, so they aren't as good at composting lots of material really quickly, as it takes them twice as long.
And these ones have been going for quite a while, so that they are packed with worms. They are packed. Cardboard on the top just helps to keep everything nice and humid, so it doesn't dry out on hot days and stuff like that. They also love the cardboard. They'll eat this cardboard until it disappears completely. Take there.
Oh, so they some eat the cardboard as well?
This.
What? They eat the cardboards too?
And just look at how much life is here. How many different kind of bugs you can spot in this one. Even those little white things, those are all little eating things. And the more biodiversity you have in here, the better.
Okay.
Alright. Then we got a layer of leaves. So every time we feed them, we just add it to the top. It's really nice to give them weed leaves. Cuttings and trim leaves like that, because weed breaks down to exactly what it wants.
Okay.
So you want to use that. So when you start them off, you'll do like a layer of compost or manure, just a little bit dried out manure. Do a layer of that, then a layer of fresh leaves, then a layer of like a topsoil, small little layer, then another layer of manure, fresh leaves, topsoil, and you just layer it like that. And then after that, you can just add to the top. Add to the top.
Okay. Cow manure is a great food source for worms. Not only cow manure, but hog, horse and sheep manure have all been proven to be great food source in vermiculture processes. Manure is already partially decomposed, which makes it easier for further breakdown by worms, yet it still contains a good amount of nutrition.
This is what we use. These are just the leaves. This is from our pre-trim leaves.
Yeah.
And this is what we, every now and then, they've just been fed. So I'm not going to put too much in, but we'll cover them with at least like a 3 to 5 centimeter layer once.
So that's
Once
basically
they-
how you feed your worms.
That's how you feed them, yeah.
Okay. And sometimes it could be organic food
Sometimes we give
waste.
them the veggies, sometimes we give them more manure.
Manure, yeah.
You want to have their diet also diverse.
Okay.
Then you just make your mix more diverse.
Okay. I don't know why
Horse
that.
manure is a really nice one to use. Very stable, very nice one. And I don't know, that's what the guys, that's when we started off, we always go for horse manure.
Horse manure.
Layers of horse manure.
Okay. That's a strong one.
What we'll do is we'll open all of this, open it up, and then we'll start just pouring water in here.
Okay.
And water the whole thing down. And keep on going until it starts running all the way down this thing and into this bucket. Once we've got these tubs full, we empty it out in one of these. This is a really nice mix. You can see, you can smell it. It's organic as hell. Whew. We'll put a air stone in there, bubble it, and then that activates all of the enzymes and get it ready. But after you've done that, it's got a shelf life.
Oh, really? Then it can go off.
Then it can go off if you don't use it all. We use a whole one like this in a go. The whole thing with this thing is we're building the biology inside this. So when we drain it through, we can get that, and then we put that same biology that's in here in every pot.
It's a digestive work. Yeah. And what this does, it creates the right enzymes and the right bacteria for your plant to uptake nutrients.
Yeah,
Just like your gut bacteria. So what we do is we feed the soil, not the plant. We make the one living soil, living system.
Okay, that makes
Full
sense.
of microorganisms. And that can be.
Sure. En die wurms kom hulle self in.
Nee, ons teer hulle. Ons teer hulle en wanneer ons gaan dan appelkeer voor op 'n boomplant sit ons wurms in, stampie, alles. En dan at least 6 maande voor die tyd voorberei. Mycorrhiza in hier wat ons gaan haal op allerlei plekke. Ons wil dit met treat, ons wil wurmtee bysit en kompos ons is goed te doen voor die tyd sodat hy dan so net lewe vir jou onder jou plant en dit is dan
Yes. This is another batch of the worm composting. Wow, look at those. Look at that. I don't know if you guys if you guys are seeing this, what I'm seeing. All of those beautiful worms. So we take from the worms and we give back to the worms. Now we're gonna move to the next one. Thank you, worms, for your blessings, and we're blessing you back with some love from the Most High.